Hi, welcome to In a Pickle Knitting Vlogmas Day 1. Today's December 1st, 2018. My name's Donna, and I'm coming to you with a short vlog about a children's literature book for the holidays. And my theme is the 12 Days of Christmas, which does not start until December 25th as the first day of Christmas. But I'm doing this early for two reasons. One, because I'm going to be showing you some children's books. You might want to try to procure them from your library or purchase them, and that gives you a little bit of time if you are interested in doing that. And the second reason is that as we get closer to the 25th, things get more hectic, so I thought it'd be nice to get this away, out of the way, maybe within the first half of the month. So I won't necessarily be here every day, but I will try to get done before the middle of the month. My first book that I want to share with you today is called The 12 Days of Christmas, and each book will not be about the 12 Days of Christmas, although quite a few are. I am going to include some of my other special favorites, and if you watched Vlogmas last year, a few of them will be repeats from then because they are my favorites. And this is the story behind the favorite Christmas song, and you can see the cover here. It is written by Helen Hadel and illustrated by Laura Knorr. Now what this book does is take on the idea that was given back in around the late 70s, early 80s, that in point of fact the song The 12 Days of Christmas, with all of those silly gifts that are given, were actually a tool that Catholic children and families use to help them remember several things about their religion. And this was purported to have happened during a time when the Church of England in England allowed only that religion to exist, and so the people that wanted to continue with their Catholicism would hide some of this information in the song, or just as reminders from the song to help their children learn their catechism. Now this has been argued back and forth whether or not it's true, but I don't think that really matters, because you certainly can use the song to do that. So there's lots of little family traditions that I think you could start with this book and following through some of the ideas that they have. So I'm going to share with you just loosely what she starts off with, first by saying that my true love is in fact Jesus, and the different gifts in the song. So the partridge in the pear tree, beautiful illustration there, I really like that, is supposed to signify Jesus as the partridge, because the partridge is known as a bird that will go to its death defending its young, which in fact was what Jesus did. And the pear tree is wood, and he was crucified on a wooden cross, so the pear tree represents that. So this was what the partridge in the pear tree was supposed to have signified. And again, there are arguments that that is not true, that these are points of Christianity, not specifically Catholicism, and so it wouldn't have been something that needed to be hidden, since those existed within the Church of England as well. But as I said, you can still use this book this way and share things with your children. The book also in the very back has some other ideas of things that you can do. And one thing that I think you could do is to, starting on December 25th, once all of the other festivities are over, recenter yourself with this book, introducing one page or one verse of the song each day as you add a special ornament to your Christmas tree. And so this year I am making, I still have to finish, some ornaments to add to a special little tree that I purchased, and these will be the only ornaments on the tree, the 12 Days of Christmas ornaments. So the first one is the partridge in the pear tree. Now these patterns I purchased from Etsy, from a maker. She makes other patterns for felt as well, and it is MMM Crafts, and I will put that right here as well as a link below. And she does do other patterns, but these are very, very popular on her site. And she also gives you information to purchase the materials that you need from another two Etsy sellers. And I did do that. I purchased the set of patterns, and they are bundled together to be a significant price difference if you purchase them all at once. And the felt that you use is not the felt that you purchase from a typical craft store. It needs to be a portion of wool. It can be a complete wool, or it can be a wool blend, but the blend would be something more like rayon and not the materials out of the standard felts that you can purchase. So with that in mind, and also some of the other needed materials that I wasn't quite sure where I was going to get, I just decided to order it that way. And I will go through what I think about all of that with you now if you want to stay tuned. And if you don't aren't interested, please feel free to go here, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow for the second day of Christmas. So when I purchased these, you end up with a lot of felt, and I ordered the felt kit from Benzie Designs, and I'll put the name here and the link below in case I've left a word out of their name or anything. You end up with a lot of felt left over. I could make a good 6 more sets of ornaments, I'm quite sure, and do lots of other things with the leftover felt. But the colors that I end up with might have to change, because there's some colors that you don't get as much of as others. So, and she suggests doing different colors. Please go to her site if you're interested at all. And she's also on Pinterest. If you just search 12 Days of Christmas Felt or Felt Ornaments, comes up with lots of photographs with different color combinations. So I wouldn't be able to reproduce exactly the same colors that I used, because at least I know there was only one sheet of black, and I did use at least 2/3, 3/4 of that sheet. So I wouldn't be able to do the exact same colors, but I have so much felt. Now, a very, very important product is a Sulky brand. Pause here for just a sec. It's the Sulky brand sticky fabric solvay, I think. It's self-adhesive. You can run it through your printer, and then when you it's applied to your fabric, you use that as your pattern, so your cutting lines will be perfect, depending on how well you can use the scissors. But there's none of that pinning things and making the size maybe slightly different, because it's applied directly, and then you remove it. And the pieces that you need to embroider, the lines for almost every bit of the embroidery are directly printed on there, so you're following, you'll get a straight line. Again, depending if you can get the needle in the right place, you're going to get a straight line, because you're not having to guess where it should go. So I found this to be genius. I had not used this product. I've used some others, things that wash away, but never anything like this, and I can see a lot of potential for its use. But in the kit, if you order from the Benzie Designs, you get 1 package of this, which is 12 sheets. And the ornaments themselves, that makes sense, there's 12. But there are 3 bonus ornaments, and you technically, if you print it out the way it's here, you actually would end up with 16, because 1 is printed twice on the paper. Actually, 2 are printed twice, I think. So if you want to do them all, you're going to have to order a second package. I ordered a second package on Amazon because I did want to make them all, and I saw a lot of potential since this can go through your printer. I thought that was a really great idea. The directions on the pattern are phenomenal. Each pattern is about, I would say, at least 14 pages. Some of them a little bit longer than others. And she spells out, draws a picture, shows everything you need to do. Now, you still need to be the one to do it. So, mine are not as perfect as hers. But that said, I'm not great at embroidery, and painting on the little faces is not a strength. I am over the moon with the ornaments. They are turning out they're charming. So I definitely, for the directions and the way that her patterns are put out, you print them out, absolute kudos. Can't say anything nicer about them at all. They're just been very happy. You do in the kit get a package of this, but like I said, if you want to do everything that's in the patterns, you're going to need another kit for about 2 or 3 extra sheets. It also provides the interfacing that you'll need, and you need such a little bit of it, you're just going to have enough to make about another 20, 30 ornaments for sure with that. I use less than a fourth of that. You can order your kit with the embroidery floss. I did not, because having been a former cross stitcher and smocker, I have a lot of embroidery floss, but I did have to go out and replace 2 colors, actually 3, in order to finish, because just colors that I chose, and maybe I didn't have a full skein of those colors or something. But you're doing a lot of sewing, whip stitching things together, and all of the embroidery. And maybe I could have been more economical with throwing away my waste from each one and not had to go out and buy more. But anyway, you also use a lot of pipe cleaners for this, and that Benzie Designs gives you so many more chenille sticks than you need. I think you use 1 and you have a whole package, which I would have been happy if they just opened a package and put 1 or 2 in. That would have been fine for me. But because they don't know how many you're going to make, she has enough felt in there to make a lot. And you need 2 different kinds of pipe cleaners, and you need, there's some tools that you can also order to help, which I would, in hindsight, I would have ordered there's something she tells you on her directions, something to push the stuffing down in better into small spaces. It's something fork. And she has a link to it, so you can get it. But once I got everything and was reading that, I thought, by the time it gets here, I need to be nearly done with these things, because I didn't want to be rushing through it during Vlogmas. So I did without it, and I've managed just fine. But I think it would have made that process easier. And the other thing is another product that I'll put the name here if I can. I don't remember what it is, but you run your floss over it, and it helps it go through smoothly and not to get the knots as you sometimes do and all the twisting. I did not use that. When I used to cross stitch, I did use beeswax. I didn't use that either. I had some tangling, but it wasn't massive. But I do think I would order that as well, to make another set. And I think I need to do that because I have so much material left over. You need wooden beads for the hands on some of the ornaments, and you need a different size for the heads on some of them, and those were provided in the kit, and there are lots of extras. I did order that kit without the floss because I just thought I'm going to be running all over the place trying to find just the right bead. I could just see myself at 3 craft stores trying to get the right size bead, not being able to do it, and then end up ordering something online anyway. So that's why I went that direction. It was not inexpensive, and you could do it less expensively. And I think if you just could figure out what color, maybe got your patterns and decided what colors you were going to use, that you could just order the colors you wanted, just buy the sheet, and not have to spend as much on the materials. I'm going to show you here the stack that I have that's not been touched. I'm going to put a picture here. These have not been touched. So you can see some of those are multiple sheets of the same color. Some of them are single. And here is the stack that I have left over that I used part of the sheet. So that is all I needed to make them, and they're still left over on those pieces. So when you if you ordered this kit, you would really have a lot of materials. I think other than that stabilizer that you do your pattern on in the printer, you could share this with a couple of friends and sit down and make them together. That would be a lot of fun. They are a lot of work. I thought I was going to zoom through and finish much more quickly than I have. Some of them have taken me with a lot of crafting time, a day to finish. So, and that's me because I'm slow, but it's, you know, it's just, there's a lot of little steps so that you create something that looks really pretty. And as I said, I'm really pleased. I'll put a picture here at the end. And if you stuck through all this rambling, thanks. And I will see you tomorrow for day 2. Bye.